of the town. Boy, game moves. I like to walk around with my chain loose. She just bought a new ass, but got the same boobs.
Hey, welcome.
Yes.
Happy Friday to everybody. We are back again. This is episode 3. This is the SKEAM team. Yay. We are here. Let's get our toast in. Y'all know how we.
Here we go.
We're gonna do it neatly. No spill it.
Let me get it.
No spill it. Hey,
I think that was me last week.
Yeah, no fumbles.
Me last week.
Oh yeah, we gotta get our sip. Y'all know what it is. It's what we do every Friday. It's the SKEAM team in the building. We doing it a little different for y'all. Y'all know who I am. Let me introduce myself and not be rude. Y'all know me. I am Main Manifest. To my right, I have.
You know me. It's the euphoric endorphin releaser, Pookie Long Johns.
To my left, I have.
Hey, it's your girl Rhea.
Rhea. And to her left, we have.
What's up? It's Tiffany Monique.
And we are the SKEAM team, and we are here live. Big shout out to everybody who's watching us live on Facebook. Shout out to everybody who's listening to us on all the podcast platforms. We ain't gonna go through them. Y'all see us on IG. Y'all can follow us on Instagram, SKEAM_podcast. Y'all see us on YouTube, SKEAM.podcast.
Yeah.
We just bring y'all that fresh perspective every week. This is Phoneline Fridays. You know, we gonna get into it. We got a lot of juicy, nice topics to discuss. So we're not gonna wait because we're gonna bring y'all some new stuff today. Y'all know how we do. As usual, we start with our sports. And we had the NFL draft yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's
it's
go,
going
Buffalo.
down. It's still going on now. Buffalo, shout out to the Bills.
Let's go.
Shout out to the Bucks. You know our Bucks got the top 5 pick, Devin White. We see you ready to eat, young fella. The Redskins finally got them a QB.
Yes.
Washington.
Break a leg.
And Tiff, are you a Giants fan? Are you New York? Or you
Yes,
Jets?
we got a new quarterback.
You got a quarterback?
Yeah.
People in New York are not happy about that.
Really?
Yeah.
They wanted the quarterback that the Redskins got. They feel like they passed over
yeah,
him.
well, too
Yeah.
bad.
They'll be all right.
That was a crazy.
What are you gonna do?
A lot of people turned their heads on that one.
That was the craziest pick of the draft. It's crazy because, again, you know, Haskins was a little bit upset. He thought he was going to go to the Giants.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but we're going to see how I play.
Redskins,
Yeah,
burgundy and gold.
Oh, yeah. He's from this area, so, you know.
There you go.
So we'll see. Rhea, you a Redskins fan?
I am from Washington, D.C. I am a native Washingtonian. It
That-
would be blasphemous.
That don't mean
blasphemous
Right.
for me to root
she
for
kind
any
of skated
other
that
team.
question, right?
They
Yes,
need to-
I am a
Yeah.
Washington Redskins fan. Very loyal.
They ain't even talking about the Redskins like it used to be. Like we not gonna use the Redskins no more. Now they just rocking with it and winning playoffs.
Yeah,
and
didn't
shit.
that just kind of go away?
They just came back. They just chilling now. They gonna keep the name.
It's whatever the flavor of the month is. It's whatever the flavor of the month is.
Right, you got it.
So you know how it goes. But yeah, it's interesting. You know, the NFL draft is always dope because the young fellas. I like seeing, you know, people get to their dreams and they work so hard and play football, you know, all their lives, and then they finally have a dream come true.
Very
they get to
true,
go, they get to have a moment. You know, they 60 seconds of fame or whatever. So that's always dope. And then, of course, we had the NBA playoffs still going. Playoffs rocking. You know, Golden State. Matter of fact, they got Game 6 tonight. The Golden State Clippers. Them boys balling. It ain't as easy for Golden State to three-peat. Who you think gonna pull that one out, Pete?
Hopefully, somebody new. I'd like to see somebody new take over. You know, who gonna take over Golden State? I like the underdog to win.
They're saying that because, you know, the Warriors, you know, won the last 2 championships, and now they're trying to three-peat. They're playing a lot of games, so that's why it gets harder. You know, when you play the most games. So then they got the injury to Boogie Cousins. So we're gonna see if they pull it out. Some teams already clinched. I think the Rockets already won. So it's gonna be interesting. And they have been looking forward, you know, looking ahead to the Rockets. So that's why they kind of got off track. And then OKC, man, Russell Westbrook and them boys. Yeah. That shot was crazy, right? Did y'all see that Dame Lillard?
That was crazy.
That Dame Lillard. Oh.
Dave
Dollar. Shout out to Dave Dollar. Yeah.
I would have threw it up too. I would have threw it from half court. I didn't give it down.
Right.
It was tied up anyway, coming down.
37-footer. That's crazy. So we're gonna keep rocking with that. But we wanted to touch on the topic a while ago. Speaking back to football, there's a female who got a scholarship to play with the boys.
How do y'all feel about that, fellas?
Well, she always did want to play with balls.
God.
So
Oh my God.
how do y'all feel, ladies? Is it woman power or talk about it?
I
I
mean,
have some thoughts, but
well, of course you have thoughts. That makes sense. But
I'm a thoughtful guy.
I mean, she's worked hard. She is good. What's wrong with her getting a scholarship to play football? It's not like there's a female alternative for her. Like, it's not like, basketball. You can go to college, play women's basketball. There's no female alternative for her. And if she can do it and she's been doing it, what's the problem?
There is, though. So I don't know about it in college, but there are leagues. DC has a lingerie football league.
A lingerie football league.
But they have other professional leagues.
No.
I mean, I'm just telling you what I know.
No.
Yeah.
We're
That
not,
is good.
and I'm not knocking the lingerie football league.
Have
but
you
we're
ever been
not
to a
gonna-
game?
we're-
Those girls are athletes.
I am not knocking the lingerie
You been there?
football
Yeah.
league.
Yeah,
I am sure that they're amazing, but we're not. I don't feel like that's not apples to apples.
So let
in
me
my
tell
personal
y'all.
opinion.
Here's the thing. First of all, let's just dive right in. There is obviously a deserving guy who probably didn't get a scholarship because she got one.
So
A
no,
lot
we're
of
not
people-
going to do that.
a
That's
lot-
like
wait,
saying
hold,
there's
hold,
a
wait a
deserving
minute.
white person
Hold a
who
minute,
didn't
wait a
get a
minute,
scholarship
wait a
because a black
minute,
person
wait a
got
minute.
accepted. No, we're
Yes.
not even starting.
Wait a
That's
minute.
ridiculous.
Yes, we are. Because
Go for it.
listen, this is what you got to
Ridiculous.
understand. We're talking about football. Not everything.
You
Wait a
were-
minute.
you
Rhea.
were- got the
She didn't
scholarship,
take
that means
something
that she-
away.
Yeah, exactly.
That implies.
Do you
that
know what her
she
stats were?
wasn't deserving of it.
Do
Like,
you
she
know what her
didn't work
stats were?
hard for
Do you know
it.
what her stats were for the season?
So you don't think she deserved a scholarship? Is that what you're
I'm
saying?
asking you, do you know
I'm
what her stats
asking you,
were?
are you bringing this up because you don't feel like she deserves the scholarship?
Do you know what her
Because
stats
that's
were?
why you addressed it.
This
You
where we
said
going.
She took a scholarship.
You
away
don't know,
from
so
a
let me
guy
tell
who
you. Her
deserved it.
stats were
What
one
was her stat?
tackle.
What was her stats?
Her stats were 2 tackles and 1 pass defense.
Wow.
So if a fella had those stats, he wouldn't get a scholarship. The school. Some people think that the school is doing it as a publicity stunt. And listen, I'm not saying she's an athlete. Shout out to her, but not everything has to be integrated. There are certain things that should be designated for men. The locker room is a sacred place, right? So when I start to think about just because I play sports, where's she gonna take her showers at?
Family room.
Where's-
The family
And a
room.
female locker room.
It's
There's no female
unprecedented.
locker room in it.
Who they don't know what to do with her.
Put her ass in the hallway.
Not only that,
Not
I'm
nice.
so
This is
That's
ridiculous.
not-
not only that,
I'm
but
sorry.
on some for real shit though.
This is
When she gets hit by a guy who runs 4'3", 220, like it's gonna be over. It's
Just
not,
like
it's not
any other small football player would get hit
They
and be
gonna
hurt
say-
by it.
they gonna say it's abuse.
right. So we gonna follow her. Let's keep watching it because we're gonna follow to see if
How far she goes.
absolutely.
And then when she, defies all odds and
I'm
keep
not
going.
saying her. Well, here's the thing. So her goal is to play in the NFL.
In the NFL.
I think that's a little bit absurd, but I'm not going to shoot down anyone's dreams. The reason it's absurd is because there are professional football leagues in certain down south cities, Tallahassee, Chattanooga, all female 11-on-11 tackle leagues. If you want to play football, why don't you want to play there, right? Like to try to be it's all a publicity stunt, man. Come on, like she's not going to make it to the NFL. These are grown men, 300 pounds. Let's be for real. Like if she get hit, it's going to be over for her. You know what I mean? Like
So
Well,
what?
I just think
she's
that
going to be really hurt. Taking it from somebody who played football and understand how
There's small
violent the
guys.
game
The
is.
dude who just went to the Ravens, what's his name? Hollywood. He's 166 pounds. He's small.
But he's still
we're
a
not sitting
man.
here, but he's still a man. That right there is
See,
where we're
that's
going.
No, it's not about where we're going. It's certain things.
That's exactly that. He's a man.
So here's the same equivalent. There's
He's gonna be okay if a 300-pound man hits him because he's a man.
it's,
That's all.
there,
That's it.
No. There's the woman, right? Was the guy who was transgender, had the sex change operation and was fighting females in the UFC. People felt like, yo, you really a man beating up on women, right? But you got a gender change.
That's
It's kind of the
true.
same thing.
I agree with that.
Go ahead,
Because
Tiff.
he's taking hormones to be a woman. We're not talking about. I think the transgender conversation is different because you are still whatever sex you are.
No,
you are
that's-
taking
Grew a ball.
You are taking the hormones.
Irwin.
That was the issue.
Right,
He
right.
was taking hormones,
and you're
which
fighting
gave,
He
a
or she?
woman's
See, you
sport.
saying
and,
he.
and what
she
she's
was taking.
taking
See what I'm saying? This
and
is
she's-
where it's gonna happen.
and
It
she's
gets
fighting a
convoluted.
No,
woman's
because
sport.
you're
fuck
making
outta
it
here.
convoluted by bringing in something
Anybody
totally
could grow
different.
a ball.
Listen, Tiff, go ahead, Tiff. You have something?
No, I was
too.
just gonna say that like Rhea said, that's just a separate issue. This is a man, someone who was born a man, who decided to become a woman, going against a woman
The reason it's the
and
same.
so
The reason it's the same is because a man is going against women. Now we talking about a woman going against men.
But see,
But she's not pretending to be something. She's
No,
not.
it ain't about
she
pretending.
is a female who
it's
is.
the opposite sex. We're talking about intertwined sports. And so if we want to get there, that's where this whole push. Come on, y'all. We got to cut this out. Not everything is supposed to be integrated. Not everything is supposed to be integrated.
So-
when this girl gets hit, yo,
Because
I
she's
want
a
I want to
girl.
see
But
how the
she
same.
is
It's not
a
because she's a
girl.
girl.
That's
yeah.
what you just said.
Okay. Let's go there.
One
Her
come, they all
physical
come.
frame is not going to be able to withhold the punishment that it takes.
so okay.
Physically,
okay.
if you know
I
what
kinda
foot-
get
if you
I
underst-
kind of get what you're saying.
Yeah, if you understand
I
football,
kind
you
of
know.
get what you're saying right now. It's kind of like, it's a female coming into a man's sport and wanting to a man's
Yeah,
sport.
like the WNBA and the NBA is separate.
Right.
You gotta be
and-
separate
yeah,
genders. Though.
Okay. I see.
So
I
what's
mean,
next? You gonna have women fighting men? I feel like I could beat Floyd Mayweather. I want to
If
fight.
you can
That's
beat him, beat
abuse.
him.
That's
I
abuse.
mean,
Don't
it's
hit her.
possible. Don't get it twisted.
We don't wanna
There's
go
a
down
lot
these
of
lines.
Very strong women out there.
You don't want to go down these lines.
Nah, listen, I'm for the smoke. Listen, it don't
Some
matter.
women know how to slap box too.
I just stand, man.
I think it's amazing that she has worked hard. She got a scholarship. She'll go as far as she can go. Whether or not she gets into the NFL, I think that is. I mean, it's an amazing dream for her to have. Whether or not it happens is it's who knows. But her playing college football at the level she is, I hope she continues to grow, and I hope she does well. I hope her stats become more impressive to you.
Why do y'all
And
think this never happened before?
I do think because typically football is a man's sport, and I think
Typically?
football is a man's sport.
Exactly.
And I think that generally females don't even think about playing in the NFL because of that, or playing football because of that. So the fact that this one girl is like, I like football and I want to play football and not wear lingerie while I do it,
Well-
I think
Not
that's a
wear
beautiful
lingerie.
thing.
Do they give her a cup with her uniform?
First the balls and now the
Right.
cup. Like,
So
this
let me ask you this.
is
Do y'all
ridiculous.
think, so, and this is going to tie into our great discussion we're going to have today. The phone lines will be open shortly, guys. So do y'all think, because I have a feeling that sometimes women just want to do stuff because they know that men are there. Like if this was able to happen before, we would see women in the NFL in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. We never seen that before. All of a sudden, it's kind of funny with this feminist
so
agenda
now
and push.
You're going too
Feminist
far back
agenda.
with that.
No.
Because first of all, back in the 70s, whatever, women didn't have the same kind of rights as men. So it's
I
not
didn't
like
say 60s. I said 70s.
Cooking cornbread in the kitchen.
Whatever. Women didn't have the same rights as men. So there was no way that they would be allowed to, become engage in these types of activities. And as
What
far
about the 90s and the 80s? We've never seen this before.
because
I just
we're
find
still,
it funny.
We're still
so
dealing
what?
With,
So what?
So
we're
what?
we are still dealing with gender inequality.
Exactly.
So that's what this is about, gender inequality?
I'm just saying
this is
that
about a girl who wants to play football
All she
and
wants
being
to do
allowed
is
to
play
do it.
football.
Yeah.
With men.
With men.
So
Right.
what?
Go play football
It's
with women. It's not
football.
so
men
what.
that made the NFL a man's sport. It didn't have to always be that way.
Right.
Listen,
And
here's
what's wrong with challenging the norm?
No, because certain things are not designed to
Because
be.
men say so.
It's not because men
Right.
say so. Men don't have babies. We're not supposed to have babies.
You don't
I don't
have
want to
the
go. I don't want to go into the
equipment to have
WNBA.
babies.
If I'm a hooper, I don't
You
want to
don't
go to
want
the.
to go into the WNBA because it's not the NBA. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
There's a
Like,
So,
huge-
so
there's
now
a
y'all
huge
make my point. Let's keep
inequality
going. Let's keep
between
going
those.
there.
No, you're not.
She wants to go in the NFL because it's the NFL. Now there is a league
Because
over
it's a
here.
professional
Wait,
league.
there's
It
a
is
professional
national-
league for ladies.
It's a national.
Not the
There's a-
lingerie
It's not the
league.
same.
Not the
thing.
lingerie. No,
Women.
calm down. Y'all didn't understand this. There are other leagues that are professional
Smaller
for
level leagues that
so
she could play in.
right that are all 100% women. Why does she not go play in
Because
those
she
leagues?
wants to play in the NFL.
Exactly, because she
there's
wants to do
no
what
other
men do.
NFL.
I mean, is there?
because there's
She
no
wanna
other
make history.
NFL, and it
That's
just so
what it's
happens
about.
that the NFL is
She
all
wanna be the
men.
first.
She's not gonna
Exactly.
make it. I mean, I'm not.
I mean,
let's
okay,
be for real. She's not
that
gonna make
might
it.
be true, but why is it like? Why are you?
I mean,
like, what's all the smoke for? Let her do it.
It's no smoke
Let her play college
because
I
this
don't
is
want that woman to get hurt out there.
exactly. That's
I
number
think that
one.
that's-
Thank you,
that's the
PLJ.
problem.
That is so
I feel
ridiculous.
like guys have this whole rescue the damsel, a damsel in
Yeah.
distress kind of mentality
She
about
knows
women.
the
Like
risk.
she's a strong woman. She's mindful of what she's doing. This is
Yeah.
what she wants to
Right.
do.
Here,
Yeah.
here's
If she
what
gets
happens.
hurt,
Here's
that
what's
is
gonna
her
happen.
choice.
Coming from someone who played football, okay, you got 53 people on your roster, and what happens is if people can laugh at you and not take your team serious, like you gotta know everybody on your team can ride for you. If it's a 300-pound lineman, she can't tackle him. Like you really, what are we doing? Like
They gonna
again,
target her
they-
ass.
right, exactly. And when she gets hurt, it's gonna be now vulnerable. Now this sport is too violent. This sport, we concussions. There are a lot of things that are just made strictly for men. That's just point blank. Period.
You don't do that.
Right.
I
If you want to compete versus your competition, so a man doesn't have to feel restricted from going all out. A 300-pound lineman.
Because everything we should do, we should consider how the men might feel.
No, not that. But
God
there are
forbid
things.
they feel
There are
restricted.
things.
That's it.
There
You
are
got
things that
Oh my
are.
God. They
There are
might feel
things that
restricted.
are
Damn right.
that are called. We got to be in our. Listen.
This is a sport. And if she is capable of playing, she should be able to play the sport.
That's my thing. She's not capable.
Clearly she is. They gave her a scholarship to play it.
It's a publicity stunt.
It doesn't matter.
If a guy had the same stats, 1 tackle and 3 interceptions, he wouldn't get a scholarship.
It
to
doesn't
D1.
matter. She can play and she can get better. Like,
school-
so
Right.
why are you basically counting her out simply because she's a woman?
I'm not
She
counting
might
her
not
out.
care.
The reason why, okay, let me answer that. The reason why is because I know the physicality that it takes, and I
She
know.
does too. She's been
Listen,
playing.
we
She got a 3-month-old.
She hasn't played at this
She
level.
got a
She's been
3-month-old
playing in
at
high
home.
school. She's been playing in
and
high
she's
school.
been playing for 2 years in
No,
college.
okay.
junior college. She got a
Junior college,
No,
okay.
she got a scholarship to the highest level, and now it's about to get real. And
Okay,
when she
and
gets hit, we gonna follow her stats.
she get
Let's see
hit-
if she be in the NFL draft.
She get hit and split a tit. Then you gonna see.
It's gonna be crazy. And so this ties right along into our
nice.
knowledge.
This
Let's
is
go to
the level
knowledge.
of ignorance we're starting this conversation
No,
on.
it's not. It's not
ridiculous.
ignorant.
It's ridiculous.
Here's what y'all gotta understand, man. Like certain things are sacred. Like again, certain
things are.
Yeah, certain things like the
Football is
conversations
sacred
we had.
now?
The locker room is sacred. The locker room is sacred. Like there are
Because
certain
of the
things
team aspect.
because of a
And if she's a part
brotherhood
of
and
the
because of
team-
things. So we saw Swaggy P get violated by the dude who outed him on what's his name? Went to Brooklyn. Somebody help me out. D'Angelo Russell, right? Yeah. Cheated on him. He wasn't supposed to do that. They traded him. That's the type of violations and things like. It's things that go on in the locker room. And if you've never been there, you don't understand that. Like
That's an
now,
issue
there
of
are
loyalty.
ladies.
That has
There are
nothing to
ladies.
do
I
with
want y'all
gender.
to call in because
That's loyalty. That's not gender.
I want y'all to
Okay,
call
that has
in
nothing to do with-
202-417-7399. If you play team sports, ladies, if you play team sports, and y'all know what I'm talking about. Let's talk about the sacredness of the locker room and the things that go on. She's not even gonna feel. Watch this. She's not even gonna feel the same way because all her team gonna be in one room changing. She's gonna be by herself in a woman's bathroom stall. Like you ain't even part of that.
She didn't even hear the speech.
The coach got to
I
give a speech
think
2
that- I
times.
think that
He got to
the
go over
She
here.
will
and
come
get,
in for the speech.
It's
Listen
not normal
through
right
the
now.
wall.
It
It
hasn't
hasn't been done, so there's no precedence for it. But
Right.
y'all, I mean, you're acting like these are all insurmountable issues.
She
These are
had
things
a
that you can come up with a
walkie-talkie.
solution for.
It's going to be very strange because it's not normal right now.
let's get for real. This
But
is
when
the
it
question.
becomes normalized, when it becomes a normalized thing to have men and women play on professional sports teams together,
It's not
that-
supposed to though.
it's okay.
Because
Well,
you
it's
walking
happening.
around
Like
naked
it's
in front of-
happening.
It's not
whether
happening.
you-
It's
whether
not
you-
happening. It's
you
a
don't-
publicity stunt right now.
you
but
don't
it's
think
not.
that it's
In the locker
happening?
room.
2 years ago,
It's happening.
So
2 years
there are
ago,
environments where men and women
happening.
walk around naked together, and it's not
And
an
gyrate.
issue. Gyrating? What the hell are you talking about?
What-
That's what they do when they win.
well,
That's what who does.
what
when they
what
win.
happened? Let's
Guys
get for real. Let's
and
get for real
girls.
though. I think the fact that with this feminist push and this feminist tune that we have going now, there's certain women that just want to do everything like oh man's doing that, I can do it. And look, I get inequality and all that, but there's certain things that that are sacred. Leave this to us. We don't want to be dumbed down. Men don't want to be dumbed down and have to pull back so they can feel that they don't have to run this 150
No
pound.
one's asking any man to do that.
We gonna
So
move.
that's
No, so now-
now you're getting into a whole nother conversation.
They're dumbing
We
down
gon-
football,
we gon-
watering it down, restricting the men. You are mansplaining
No.
right now. It's so ignorant.
This is where it's
typical,
going.
This is typical patriarchal BS that you're giving.
You can't say
That's
why she
all
don't
it
want to
is.
play. You didn't even know. First of all, you didn't even know there was a female league that she
I
can
know
actually
about
play
the
on.
lingerie league,
Not
but
the-
I don't.
not- I'm
okay,
talking
so
about the
yeah,
real.
but that doesn't matter.
Yeah, let her go there.
It doesn't matter.
This is where we're going.
It doesn't matter at all.
Feminism, knowledge. Let's go to knowledge, D's. Check this out. Why do y'all think the feminism is like such a wave right now?
A wave right now.
It is a wave. It's a wave.
Wave
Well,
right now.
Yeah, Me Too movement.
What?
All-
Okay.
all that. All that. No.
We're not,
Let me finish the wave.
No, I'm
Let's
not letting you
laugh.
finish because we're not lumping all those together like it's all one big.
Women wanna play-
feminism
women wanna
and
play
Me Too.
sports.
No, you can't.
Me too.
Oh,
It's not
my
the same
gosh.
thing.
It's not.
It's not the same thing.
What is it?
Okay, because feminism and the Me Too movement are about two completely
Right.
separate things. Okay? The Me Too movement is about sexual abuse.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's about women coming out and being vocal about sexual abuse. Okay?
And to be honest, you guys, you don't even have the platform to be able to speak on the Me Too movement like that. Like, seriously. Because
I do.
You don't. Because as a man, you want to talk about sacred spaces. As a man, you have no idea what it is to be a female and to be in environments where the simple fact that you are a female just makes you feel unsafe or makes you prone to certain activities. Like, do you ever have to call your friends when
Let me
you're
tell
walking
you
to
why.
the car for fear that somebody might come do something
we
to
are
you? Like,
talking
no.
about sports.
When I
We're talking
feel
about
vulnerable.
sports.
We're talking
So
about
watch this.
sports.
I'm about to tie it in.
brought
You
it
gotta
up.
be easy. Be easy.
No,
let me
because you
tell
bring
you why.
stuff up, but then when I counter it, then we gotta
I'm
hurry
gonna
up
tell
and
you
talk
why.
about- stop talking
no,
about
no,
something
no.
else.
There was
Go
a
ahead.
woman who, in the Me Too movement, said, "Hey, we were just talking about the NFL draft. Hey, this player from the 49ers raped me."
Yeah.
She was lying.
Yeah.
That man lost his job. That man lost his job, not even in the league no more. She didn't go to jail. Women just want to lie, be emotional. That's part of the Me Too movement now. I'm not talking about people
Well,
who've been raped.
women
We
just
talked
wanna
about that
lie,
season
be
one.
emotional.
We're on a time frame, so
Women
we're
just
not.
wanna lie and be
No. Let me finish my point.
That's what
we
you
talked
said.
about that in season one, so we're not gonna pack all that. We talked about Bill Cosby, R. Kelly. Y'all can go back and watch that SKEAM season one. Right now, we're talking about the agenda, and my question is: do you think that the feminism wave or movement, whatever you want to call it right now, is it ruining relationships between men and women? Like the dynamic, the social dynamic. Go ahead, Pete. Talk about
I
it.
would say it's making it different because sometimes people see others in a relationship and say, "Oh, you get to talk back to Jeffrey. I can't talk back to Carl. Oh, let me say something different." You know, so it's a motivation, and some friends are influences, and you know, it affects the whole culture of the relationship, and it makes it different.
What y'all think about? I'm talking about the dynamic of just men and women. PLJ is our comedic. He make it light in the room. He's getting a little tense. But no, seriously, I believe that we're seeing men and women being torn apart, families. Like, and I'm being for real. Like,
Due to feminism?
I think they're yeah. There's a lot of different. It's not just due to feminism. There are a lot of different factors. But I think the fact that women, women who, first of all, take on that feminist mantra, believe that they don't need a man, right?
Okay.
So is that true?
Okay.
Is that true? Yes or no?
I can't speak for feminists,
Okay.
right?
Because you don't agree with it, right, Tiffany?
I don't particularly agree with the whole term feminist, the whole movement of of
why
being
not?
a feminist, because
Nikita.
I feel like it can be it's a little bit extreme sometimes. I am very
Extreme. Wow, let's unpack that.
yeah, but hold on, don't get too
don't
No,
get
I'm just
excited.
asking.
Get excited.
'Cause I'm
Let
making my
her finish
point.
her statement.
Let me just finish my statement. All
Go
I'm
ahead.
saying is that feminists can take things to the extreme, okay? And some feminists, kind of push this whole agenda that feminists should be anti-men,
Right.
okay?
Right.
I am a woman and I am pro-woman, but I am also pro-man. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So I don't like to.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't like to have too strong of.
You
an
can be
opinion.
pro woman and pro man at the
You
same
can
time,
be
right?
pro woman and pro man at the
Okay.
same time.
Okay.
However, yeah, but like I said, I mean,
And the NFL is
but
a pro
you were
man.
asking about relationships, so let me touch on that for a
Yeah.
second. Feminism is not what breaks up the man and woman dynamic. Okay, it's ego
Thank you.
on both sides.
Say that.
On both sides.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter what label you attach to yourself. It is your ego that is separating you from whoever you are claiming to love and want to be with. You know what I'm saying? You're
But-
not allowing. I mean, I understand. Like, for example, I have a friend who is preparing to marry someone, and they believe in gender roles, but their soon-to-be spouse does not. Now, where do you find the equal medium there? You know what I'm saying? How do you find the balance? Both of you have to compromise.
Talk about, you said something early in your statement. You said that certain feminists go to the extreme or take certain things
I
too
believe,
far.
yes. Okay.
And I won't let Rhea
I
get
do
in there,
believe that some
'cause
feminists
we already
go
at
to the
half.
extreme. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And with being, everything is like an issue when it comes to, men.
Right.
However, I feel like men can be very extreme as well. I don't. There's no label to attach to men that are extreme.
We're not
know what
talking
I'm
about
saying?
men. We're talking about feminism right now.
That's what she's talking about.
Right. So go ahead, Rhea. What do you think about?
I agree with her. I think feminism at its core is simply belief in the equal rights and treatment of women.
Right.
That most people would be able to get on board with. But the feminist movement as a whole has gotten an interesting place where it's almost like everything is somehow an attack on womanhood. Or I even know like the guys that I talk to who they're like they date girls and the girl doesn't want them to open the door for them because they can open their own door. Like I think that's a little extra and it's unnecessary. But I think that's this movement that like I don't want a man to do anything for me.
Exactly.
I also believe though we're at a place
do
where
whatever a man
women are getting into relationships not because of a dependence or a reliance on a man. They are whole and complete and capable on their own. So like technically they don't need a man in terms of
And
any
that's
type
shocking.
of temporal need.
They
Right.
militant.
So
And
y'all. It's funny how
they
y'all
have a
took 5
desire
minutes
for
to get right there.
companionship from that man, and that is where the ego piece comes in. Because some men need to be
That
needed.
dynamic is what I'm talking about when I say that feminism. So the one
Listen,
thing,
that's
wait, freezer. Y'all just talk. It's my turn. POJ just talk. Tiff just talk. Rhea just talk.
No,
My
I
turn.
just wanna ask you a question.
No,
She's
wait.
trying to
Let
ask
me.
you a question.
let
She
me- let
can't
me-
ask you a question?
You can ask a question after I make my point on what
Okay,
you were
go
saying.
ahead, go ahead.
What was going? I'm going. What was happening is when we talk about. No. Listen. When we talk about. Y'all gotta understand context. So the context of what I'm saying when we talk about feminism is y'all both just made my point. You said there's some women who go to too far extreme. And that dynamic of relationships, that's what is breaking it. When you try to do what a man's supposed to do, I don't need no man. Or you
Supposed
listen.
to?
Right.
Militant.
Supposed to?
Exactly.
Okay, so let's talk about roles. Let's break that down.
That's just
wait.
the point. That's the whole
The man,
point.
typically the man is the provider, protector, right? Women are the nurturer, right? Women take a house and make it a home. Men go hunt for food. Like those are certain roles. We can get into all of that now. So we know that right now during those days that it's not, you got dual family incomes and, not everyone subscribes to that. But if you have a woman being in her more masculine energy, trying to do things, I don't need a man, men are not going for that. And that's the thing I'm saying, that dynamic, that's what we're talking
idea
about.
of calling it masculine energy.
Okay. Yeah, and I get it. I understand.
The woman
whole
who just,
masculine
your friend who you just said, I don't need no
let me
man to
just-
open
I
my
didn't say
door.
she was-
First of
I
all,
said my
men
friend
and
was
women
dating a
both
girl like
have
that.
masculine
That's
and
crazy.
feminine energy. Okay, so let's just put that out there. Men and women both have masculine and feminine energy. Okay, all of the things that you just stated are roles that were ingrained in society. Like it's not a real thing.
What you mean it's not a real thing?
That men are the providers and
No,
women are
God,
the nurturers.
God
and
made us like that.
God made us that way?
Yeah, God made me a man. God made you a woman. So
Well, yes.
And
Yeah.
so that means that
Anatomically,
right.
yes.
So
But what you
physically, I
talking
cannot reproduce and have babies, but I can go impregnate women and make them have babies. Right? Can you go impregnate a man or can you go impregnate a
okay,
woman?
but that doesn't have anything to do with
It
being a
does,
nurturer, being a nurturer and a provider.
It does
think
though,
men and
because if
women
you have a
equally
baby,
be-
you carry the baby,
Yeah,
right?
you gotta
I
have
think
it.
The
that
man
men
can't.
and
The
women
baby
could
can't
be
breastfeed from me, so
gotta
I
do
won't be
it.
nurturing.
I
her.
got
let's-
feet to
let's
run.
go
Talking about
let's
anatomy
right,
and
let's-
biology.
No. We talk. It all ties
we are-
together.
so, but-
See what they do? It
No,
all
we
goes.
don't.
It all
No,
goes
you
together.
think that you can just toss everything out there
No.
and then we
You
challenge you?
I'm
Ladies,
talking
Wanna
about.
come
You're
back?
not
Ladies,
challenging. I'm
ladies.
talking about
Anyway,
nurturing.
so what
I'm
you-
talking about nurturing.
Okay, no.
Tiffany was talking about nurturing. I said I can't have a baby and have it attached to my bosom and have him and nurture that baby. That's the role designed for a woman. Yes or no?
Nurturing goes far
Yes or
beyond
no?
a baby sucking on a breast.
Yes or no?
Nurturing
Exactly.
goes far beyond that, and men are capable of nurturing children. They
that's
nurture
certain
their
that
capacity.
children.
wasn't. But that's not. You kind of got off topic. Like
Not kinda.
You're saying that you're basically look. I'm all for, like I told you, I'm pro woman and pro man. You know what I mean? Like I'm definitely both. I don't mind gender roles, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, don't make it seem as though it is not something that a woman should do.
And mind you,
I never
women
said
have been
that.
doing
I
stuff
never
like this
said that.
You said that a woman.
Nah.
Women
I
have
never
been
said that.
providers. Women
History.
have been strong.
Right.
Women
Of
have been
course.
doing all these things forever. This
Man,
isn't
women are the
anything
queens.
The
new.
reason
Mother
I'm gonna
Earth.
just say this. Sometimes,
I love women.
sometimes the
We
reason
love y'all.
why it doesn't work
Stop it,
out
Rhea.
when a
No,
woman
Go ahead, Tiff, I'm listening.
when a woman
I gotta get closer.
is handling her responsibilities and
605
providing all of that stuff, it's attacking the male ego.
Yeah.
I don't
Y'all
think it
need
is
y'all
though.
ego
See, it depends
strokes.
on the man.
Y'all need
No,
y'all ego
no,
strokes.
it depends
You
on the
do.
man.
I said sometimes.
It
Because
depends on the man.
legit, honestly, when you are in a position where you really don't rely on the dude
We
and
gonna
you
park it
don't
right here,
stroke
y'all.
his
We
ego,
not gonna make it through
guys
this whole-
have a challenge. Guys are challenged by
Okay,
that.
so let me tell you.
Don't
Here
you
we go.
care about me?
Let me. So let's talk
Yes,
for real.
we
Let's
do.
unpack this.
Yes,
Let's
we
unpack
do.
this.
And-
Y'all are two
wait,
black sisters.
pause.
Wait,
I want to put a pin in, but like
Y'all
you're
are two
talking
black
about these
sisters.
gender roles. A
Wait,
lot
wait.
of guys these days do not even hold up the same gender roles that you're trying to spout.
I don't know who you talking to.
Yeah.
It depends on region. Down south,
No.
they know how to cook. Up here, they Olivia Pope. We can talk about that. Do y'all
He is
think
wild.
y'all two? Yeah, I am wild. Y'all two black women. Stay with me. SKEAM Podcast. WOBS Live. Do y'all think y'all two? Because I haven't heard two sisters adamantly say I'm not feminist. So as two queens, I want to know, how do y'all feel about women, black women who be male bashing and like doing all that and feminist, pro-black and women's movement and all that, and it's like they don't understand, like, in order to big up women, you don't have to put down men, right? So talk about that, because both of y'all say y'all don't subscribe to feminism, but we know feminism is alive and well, right?
The feminist movement, as we know it, yeah, is can be very extra, and it seems to take everything to the extreme. I am absolutely happy to be a woman, and I want to be treated kindly, and I don't mind being catered to by the man that I am with. However,
So you don't want to go fight in UFC? You don't want to go get a sex change or?
what?
No,
No,
just-
she
No,
doesn't.
I am very happy with all my parts.
Slap box for
Very
femininity.
happy. Everything I have.
Everything.
Everything. However, I am also very dominant. I am very strong, and I am very much reliant on myself. So, when a person comes in, when I'm dealing with a person at all, they have to be able to respect the fact that I am, in fact, all these things already.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that you can be strong and you can be independent and you can be pro women without, like you said, being against men. Like it's
Do you need a man in your life?
Slight dramatic pause.
Okay,
Whoa, we're gonna go to a break right now. Wait
you
a
don't want
minute.
me to
No,
answer
no,
that?
we're not.
Over here.
You listen to SKEAM Podcast. Go ahead. You're gonna.
Oh, so y'all
Can we dim the
gonna be
lights?
petty.
Can we dim the
Y'all-
lights?
Y'all
Wait,
really
wait.
on some
No.
petty.
Can we dim the lights?
Y'all really
hold on.
trying to be petty
trying to be
today.
We gonna let Rhea. We got hands popping.
I
Go
see
ahead. Go ahead.
pettiness. I see you.
No. Let's answer that. Do you need P or J posed a nice question? Go ahead, Rhea.
I'm happy that you're gonna let me answer it though, right?
I'm not letting you do anything.
I am extremely reliant on myself. I have no temporal need for a man in terms of to finance me or to give me status. I do,
That wasn't a
however,
question,
have a strong desire for companionship and love. So my need is not coming from a place of dependence. My need is coming from just a strong desire. And I think that should be a little bit more respected from the man any man who gets the privilege to be a part of my life.
Did she answer the question?
She did answer the question.
I have a power.
Okay.
I
know that was a lot. That was a lot.
From
But
the temporal
Go ahead,
aspect, I
we
don't
heard it.
need
you
one.
broke it down.
I
You
got
broke
you.
it down.
Thank
You
you.
broke it down. So
need
you
one.
broke it down in
So
equal.
So
I don't
yes
need
or
one.
no? It was no. We gotta, because we
that
think
was
logic.
kinda like
Was it yes
no.
or no?
After
Give us
all
a short
that, it was
answer.
no, really.
You spoke for 30 seconds.
If you
Is it yes
listen
or no?
to me, then you wouldn't be asking this question.
Was it
right
yes
now.
or no? Do you
I
need a
already
man?
answered the question.
It's have to be a
answer
simple-
Tiffany, do you need a man in your life? Let's go to Tiffany. Same
It's a
question.
yes or no answer.
'Cause y'all don't. Yeah.
It's not
Do
though.
you need a man?
Because
You
y'all
You
were
can't
trying to make
explain.
it
I
so
didn't ask for
extra.
explanation.
Wait.
Tiffany, wait. Tiffany was. Go ahead.
Wait.
SKEAM Queen Tiff.
I know that this is a trick question.
It's not a trick
But
question.
I'm going to answer your question.
Okay.
Yes, I do need a man in my life for certain things.
Oh, She switched the question. She switched the
Certain things. Talk about it. Let's unpack that. Yeah, she said that.
Unpack that.
Yo, these SKEAM queens, yo, they scheming. Listen.
Queen.
Listen, let's go ahead. Cause look, well, we gonna take a quick. We gonna listen. Go ahead.
There are
Go ahead.
things.
Let's discuss this. Go ahead. Let's discuss it. Go
There are
ahead.
things
Go ahead.
you need
Go
a
ahead,
man
Tiff.
for.
Tiff, you got it.
Okay, I am not a homosexual. Okay, so there are certain needs. I mean, it's a natural thing. We are naturally supposed to connect. Okay.
That's a nice way to put it. I like that.
You know what I mean? We are naturally supposed to connect. So, yes, I do need, I'm not going to live my life. I don't have the desire to become a nun or any kind of religious situation where I don't have any kind of love and affection from a mate. If I were interested in procreating, yes, I need a man for those things.
So you only need a man to procreate?
I just told you, love,
didn't
affection.
listen.
You're not
I didn't
listening.
listen.
You're
I didn't
not
listen.
listening because then you come back with these questions.
I'm
and
asking,
show you
I'm
didn't
asking the
like
last question.
humans-
What highlights to me?
listen.
Stop it. What
Listen.
highlights to me is that I'm going. Go ahead, Tiff.
We, as humans, we need human interaction, okay?
Okay.
We need to learn and grow from one another. So, yes, I do need male interaction. Yes, I do need a man in my life. Yes.
Ask
But
me
I
if
also
a
need
woman.
women in my
Ask me
life.
if I need a woman.
But I also
already
need
know the
women
answer
in
to
my
that.
life.
You already know the answer. What's my answer?
Yeah,
to-
you
What's
need
my
a
answer,
woman.
Rhea?
Yeah, you need a woman.
I do. I need a woman. Ask me.
Do you need,
Do you
a,
need a
woman in your
woman?
life?
Do I need a woman in my
you-
life?
Yes, do you need a
I
woman in
mean,
your
it depends
life?
what I'm thinking. Are you cooking eggs? Do she know how to cook? Does she know how to cook?
petty.
Okay, listen. Let
Your
me tell you.
answer's
let me-
yes.
I don't
Is
need.
Queen chilling?
Exactly.
He's
So let
being
me tell you this. Now, who's being petty? First of
being
all,
petty.
I've been on my own since I've been, since the so
have
I don't
I.
need a woman. Do I love? I like women. I like having women in my life.
You need a woman.
Oh, let me tell. Everybody got their answer off. Let me get mine off. I
think-
like having women in my life. I do not need a woman in my life. I would prefer to have a woman in my life. Sometimes.
I like to point out that in the
sometime-
Bible, the
we
first
going to the
time God
Bible?
said he made a mistake was when he left man on earth by himself.
By
He was
himself.
like, nah,
Exactly.
that's
So let's
not
talk
right.
about that. She got to be
It's
preaching
not
now.
right. We need to
So
go ahead
look,
and put somebody else
He
up
saw
in the
that
mix.
man was
Soulmate
alone.
to
Watch this. And then
procreate.
I'm going to take it there. He saw that man was alone. He said it's not good for man
For a
to
man
be
to
alone.
be alone.
And so he pulled out of my rib, right? That helped me.
you need
We
women.
talked about that.
So
You
he
need
gave
Right.
him Jergens.
You
Right,
do
so
indeed
listen.
need women.
Listen, but a man was on, I believe a man should be on his purpose first. You should be doing what you're supposed to be doing. See, watch this. Adam didn't even know he was alone, if you really want to be a part of it. Adam was tilling the soil, cultivating, planting, doing his work. He didn't know he was on his grind.
Kissing
So
his own
for
neck.
certain men who are on their grind, if you're doing all that thing, you don't need a woman to now. I can't speak for all men. Y'all ask me, so I'm speaking for me. Some men do need, because some men, need somebody to watch their drawers, cook, do all that. They can't get to their appointments and do all that. They need that. So I know guys like that. And I know people who get married just because they need a place to stay or they want a woman and like that. I've never been one of those. I've always been, on my own, single, whatever, independent, moving, shaking, and all that. But I prefer to have women in my life. And I believe that it's healthy, right? It's a healthy dynamic when
And
a man
women
and woman.
offer a lot more than washing drawers.
Absolutely.
and
I
cooking.
didn't say that, Rhea. You only
They
focusing
do
on that.
dishes too.
I mean, everything you
PLJ,
named
do you need a
was
woman in your
something
life?
Very,
PLJ,
very,
let's let PLJ
domestic.
get his off.
I'm kidding. I love a woman in my life, and I feel like that I need and I deserve a woman in my life because both of us together, we're meant to. Because I believe in soulmates, and sometimes you can meet somebody that you really get along with, and you can vibe with and create with, and that's how we stay stable on this earth that we live on.
Hey, listen, we're gonna take a quick 2-minute break because we're gonna get these phones open. Everybody's hit me. That's why I'm looking down.
Yes,
I want to
please
get y'all
call in.
phone
Join the
in because
discussion.
we're gonna get y'all to come in.
Let's talk.
Let's take a
Let's
quick.
discuss.
Let's get a quick.
talk.
Let's throw it off.
Let's
mute the
discuss.
mic. Let's make sure. Let's discuss. Go ahead, SKEAM Queens. Let me get off. Go. Let me get there. Go ahead. Get some of that. Cousin. Get that. Let's get
Hey,
that.
you right there.
No. I want to shut. He may not want his name out there. Come on, see. Yeah. Stay with me. D's, you ready? You got us queued up? We're gonna take a 45-second break. Listen, 202-417, 202-417-7399, 202-417-7399. Y'all listen to the SKEAM Podcast. We'll be right back after this.
Scientists, cook it up. That's my sauce where you find it. That's my sauce. Look it up, find it. Adding up checks, don't mind it. Edit it, yeah. Get your respect in diamonds. Jane rolling, these niggas bought they fame. I think my back got scoliosis, cause I swerved the lane. Heard you signed your life for that brand new chain. I heard, think it came with stripes, but you ain't straight with the game. Walk it like I talk it. 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 Hey, I gotta stay in my zone. Say that we been beefing, dog, but you on your own. First night, she gon' let me fuck cause we grown. I hit her, gave her back to the city, she home. That was that, so I can't be beefing with no whack nigga. Got no backbone. Heard you living in a mansion and all your raps though. But your shit look like the trap on his Google Maps though. We been brothers since Versace Bando. Whoa, name ringing like Amigo trap phone. Whoa, used to be with Vashti and Santos. That's on Tommy Campos. We live like Sopranos, and I walk it like I talk it. 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 Walk it like I talk it.
Live life like a baby that was dead at birth, became alive and fuck the nurses. If you don't like it, tell a nigga jump. If you feeling Kermit, if you sleeping on me, we can make it permanent and leave them stinking. It really permeate, it really reeking. J.I.D. call me Willie Beeman, but I'm about a team. Everybody eating, if it's down to me, I'ma do some shit niggas ain't never seen. Bitch, I jumped the three. Fashion cushion, who's fucking me? Shit to push her, who want the beat? Chop arm, leg, head, package meat. Sacrificial lamb, satisfactory. Smack her with the hand, don't talk back to me. I'ma be the man, I'ma kill a king. I done been a fans, now I need wings. I done see your head, Lord.
Now throw me with the best.
Call 1-800-YOU'RE-A-STAIN now. Side effects may include headaches, dry mouth, broken families, stealing from friends, making your mother cry, hating yourself, getting touched in prison, and much more. Results subject to change depending on how junked you are and or get. Please junk responsibly and don't be a snitch.
Young man rumble in the jungle, trees tumble, bees bumble, we humble, yeah. Sling slum, wood, lumber, heaven, older sister, brother, freaky fucker, kidney puncher, Willy Wonka, pussy purified, lake talker, yeah. Say I be, J-I-D, say I be, E-S-T with the R-A-Ps and R-I-P, around sound, O-L-D, I'm O-L-D, and I ain't drop no L-P. O-D, I know O-G, drop low, what's the Will-D, I make a play, nigga, O-L-P. Make a way, get his O-L-C until they solve and let us pray and let us eat.
Let's go over now for Luke.
This is a Fiend Content exclusive. Bitch.
Like Cody, matter of fact, Obama, my jury so water like Osama. Got bitches on bitches, loving at McDonald's. I keep it 300 like a nigga spotter. I feel like a Vader, nigga, on your father. Touch your cocoa like your father. Flashy like lights on a router. I didn't say water, I'm
Let me do it, stupid shit. Monkey bitch, make me click. Two down, two
And we're back. We're back. Had to settle it down. Get over here, Pierre.
Yes, I'm right here.
Close.
Located.
SKEAM Podcast.
Oh.
Whoa.
Don't
need no
Fumbling.
more.
See,
Don't fumble.
sometimes it'd be like you gotta get your house in order. Get your
All that
house
masculine energy.
in order.
Doesn't even know what to
Do
You gotta
it
tap in.
to
That
them.
masculine energy.
I thought it wasn't no such thing as masculine. Anyway, SKEAM
I didn't say
Podcast.
that. Never said that.
Check it out. So look, we got some callers on the air. We gonna come right back. Listen, we got our first caller. Tisha is here. She wanna give a little shout out. Hold on, let's make
Hey,
sure we got her.
Tisha.
Tisha, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Hey! Let's toast to that. Our first calling live.
We got our
SKEAM
first
calling.
Hello.
Hey. So talk about it. You've been hearing what we talking about. What did you want to share today? What did you want to talk about on this Phone Line Fridays?
I wanted to elaborate on that subject matter about a man being in position and having purpose. And
Go ahead, talk about it. You got it. You got the floor right now.
well, my significant other, we sitting here listening to you guys, and it is very important for a man to have purpose. God has given you all purpose, and when you're fulfilling your purpose, He will send you a helpmeet to help you fulfill that purpose.
Amen.
That's right.
So, cheers.
Cheers. We raise a glass to that. So you're saying basically what we're saying, a man should be on his purpose first, right? Doing what he's supposed to be doing first, and then he
should be fulfilling his purpose. He should be grinding. And, a lot of men want to have a helpmeet, but you can't provide for that helpmeet.
Yes.
Right.
You don't
Preach
have
that.
a man actually leads a woman. So if you are not leading or have no direction, you can't expect for a woman to follow you.
Awesome. Thank you for your call, Tisha. We're going to get some
agree
more
with
calls.
everything
We're going to
she
agree
said.
feedback, Tiff, Queens.
No, agree completely.
Absolutely.
Well, that's basically what we were saying. Is that no, we don't.
And what I was saying.
We don't necessarily need each other.
Cut it out.
I'm like, roll my eyes to whenever you deserve.
We work better
I don't
together,
deserve
right?
it. See, that's
There's
what
a
I'm saying.
purpose to it all. You know what I mean? There's a purpose
That's
to
right.
it all.
It's a purpose. And the purpose is that together we're better established.
We said man didn't know he was alone. He was grinding. He was doing this thing. Then God said he was alone.
God
so
was
he got
like,
in
this
this
ain't
thing.
good.
Right. 202-417-7399. 202-417-7399. If you want to call the SKEAM Podcast.
Call in,
We want to hear y'all feedback. We
Yes,
talking
we
about
do.
feminism. We talking about roles. We talking about, not roles. They don't like that. We talking about, how it is, this dynamic, on how, certain things it just seem like it's more contentious. Back in the day, Big Mama and them stayed together. They wasn't even married. They was together 40, 50 years.
Yeah, but Big Mama put up with some stuff.
I was about to
Oh,
say,
only
like,
Big
women
Mama?
were not-
I mean,
listen.
women in general put up with some stuff. Like, so you have to remember,
You're not
it
gonna
was
just shoot
common.
all women, Bill.
We're not gonna. No, we're not. Ain't nobody shooting nobody bail. But Big Mama put up with a lot of stuff. She was number one. The thought was that you had to get married and have children, and that goes back to the patriarchal mindset we live in. And then husbands were doing all kinds of randomness, and women, God forbid, you got divorced.
Women weren't.
They stayed in the
Never,
house.
here we go.
Dear John.
Never
Dear
said
John.
that was the
Man was
case.
over at war, and she had no side boo. She had a person buying the groceries and all that.
Listen. You going?
I'm just saying, we're going to throw it out there. Let's go. We got to rock for the man. Manhood. We might not get to it, but we're going to still talk about all that.
Like we just discussed. I'm
come Harlem.
not all about
Right.
the feminism, being so extreme, but I'm not about patriarchy either.
Let me ask y'all this. Okay, let's bring it full circle. Can a woman be a feminist? A feminist, not neither one of y'all are, but can you be a feminist and still support your family and still?
Absolutely.
You can
What do
be
you
all.
mean still support your family?
So that's what I'm saying. Like, not support, like, still have a family construct. Be in a proper, healthy relationship with a man as a feminist.
Yes.
You think
Here's
so?
Here's
How,
why.
how you know? Talk about it.
Because you're. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, because here's
Be-
why. Listen, it's just like getting into a relationship with somebody that is your complete opposite, okay? If a man is in a relationship with a feminist, or if someone is in a relationship with a feminist, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just have to learn to accept that person for who they are. And when you learn to accept somebody for who they are,
I don't agree with that.
You learn how to deal with them. You learn how to maneuver. You learn how to communicate.
Right.
Because it's not supposed to. We're not supposed to agree on everything.
And
And some feminists, like Rhea was saying earlier,
I'm going to Rhea in
the root of feminism is equality between men and women.
Exactly. And that's what I was going to say. Feminism at its root is simply wanting equality for women. Now, there are extremes in every single thing. Now, if you're an extreme feminist, even though there are extreme feminists who have men in their lives, I feel like there's somebody for everyone.
You got extreme feminists that are
But she
married
gonna have to
and
be with her
have
baby
married
daddy.
with children.
But-
And that's not to say that they're dealing with
But
someone
a
that
feminist
is...
can absolutely have a perfectly fine relationship.
Let me go to Pete.
But if it depends if it's different type of feminist. It's peaceful feminist and it's militant feminist.
Okay.
So if you don't listen, they chopping and karate doing and it's like that.
But some
But
of
it's
them have men too.
social feminists that can communicate and tell you where they coming from so you can understand. And if they seek understanding. Some just want to battle, but it's different types. So whatever you get along with, if you're in that relationship and you blending and getting together, then that's your
So
decision.
You know what?
Oh, it's my turn. It's my turn.
I'm
I
sorry,
feel like because we gotta get in. We're on a tight time frame. Y'all know. Stay with me. I feel like I'm with y'all. So I don't believe black women should be feminists. Number one, I believe that the feminist movement started bra burning and all that when white women were trying to get the rights to vote. Because remember, if we go way back, black women couldn't even do that. So it was you had to be laying on a white male vote, and then the feminist movement originally started when white women would try to get certain those rights, right? Mm-hmm. So if you a feminist and you in a relationship with a man, it's gonna always be contention because you jockeying. Yes, it is.
Not
Listen,
if he respects
let me tell you. No, you're gonna always be jockeying because that feminist is who in the back of her mind, I don't need a man. See, y'all not feminists, so y'all don't rock with that. I've had dynamics with women who have feminist energy. So let me tell you. Look, this is
saying blanket feminist.
No.
I know.
Let me finish my statement like y'all finish y'all,
it.
then y'all can retort. What I'm saying is a lot of feminists have in their back of their mind, like y'all both said earlier, I don't need a man, but I could do. If you with a man and you got that mindset, you're not going to be in your submissive, you're not going to be in your feminine energy, you're not going to be in a whole mindset and construct that it takes to be with a man who is going to be a lead. There is power in both roles, both men and women. And if the man is a lead, anything with two heads is a monster. So if the man is the head and he's a lead, a woman has to be right behind him, right? And understand and know that, listen, we have to have oh, let's get the phone lines blowing up. I must have struck a chord. They have to understand that, I don't have to be a contention. I don't have to compete with this man. A relationship is supposed to be about a teamwork, right?
Why do you think it's about competition? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
It is not a competition. A woman should be respected for everything she brings to the table. And you brought up submission, and since you brought it up, the simple fact of having a penis is not what gives you submission. You have to earn that. If you, like you said, if a man isn't on point, if he doesn't have purpose, if he isn't walking in that, he is not fit to lead, and he does not deserve anybody's submission because he needs to.
So why you with that
together.
man then?
Okay,
why you with that man?
I look
But
at
we're
it
just
differently.
speaking generally.
I look at it differently. First of all, I don't believe that in order for a woman to be in her feminine, she has to be submissive.
Right.
I feel like men.
She doesn't?
Why can't
Listen to
power
me.
be
Listen
feminine
to me.
energy?
I feel like people who are in relationships with one another have to surrender to each other. Mm-hmm. There's no, because you are a man, I have to step back and bow down and let you walk ahead of me. Like that doesn't sound right. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and
No. We never said that.
But
she's
you
talking
said,
about
but you said
submission.
if he is the
Yeah.
head,
No, but y'all-
She has to be
you said
behind
if he
him.
is the head,
Your word.
she has to be behind him.
Who
No.
came first, man or woman?
I don't listen.
Somebody got to be the
So it got to
leader.
be order, right? Somebody got to be the
Again.
head. Talk about it,
Again.
Pete.
Somebody got to be the
Somebody
leader.
got to be the
Guys
head.
always bring
Why
up
is it-
this
why-
When y'all hear this,
Why
when y'all
is
hear the
it-
submission thing, they don't like that word
No,
submit,
no.
bro. 3
It's
minutes.
not-
We got
it's
3
like
minutes.
What I said.
We're going to get one more caller, and we got a fella coming in. We got a caller coming in. Let's hold on. Let's go
Y'all
to
talk about submission, but you don't talk about the entire part of submission.
And like I said, it's not about submission. It's about surrendering.
Right.
Both of you surrendering to your roles in the
Right.
relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
So you saying
So
it's more
what's the man's role in relationship?
No, so submission
To
is
walk
a
in his
Christian
purpose.
concept, first of all, and everybody
work-
gets that whole why submit
Everybody
to your
not
husband.
Christian,
Let's
though.
start. I know that, but I'm saying that whole idea comes from a
Christianity.
biblical standpoint.
No,
but the
we
whole
were doing that
process is-
before that, though.
No, the submission is a biblical issue, and it says women submit to your husband, wives submit to your husband.
Men and
so
women
that-
were together before the Bible. So we talking about
But
men
you're
and women being together,
I
that
know,
dynamic.
But I'm
Yeah,
talking
but
about
that's
the idea of submission, and it also calls for men to be submitted to God and to treat their women with the same respect that they would treat themselves.
Yeah.
All of that is in there.
So how does
if you're not gonna do all
Muslim
of it,
if you
you
Muslim
right.
if you Muslim and you don't believe
In the
you don't follow
Quran,
the
they
Bible,
talk about the
right?
same thing.
Yeah, you don't follow the Bible. So there's a different
you're
thing.
coming up with trivial.
I'm not coming up with trivial.
That is
You
so
going all over the
Our
place.
dynamic is not just
Oh
no, it's
my
not. Our
goodness.
dynamic is not just for Christians. There's certain people who watch this. And,
I never said we're talking about Christians. I said this.
hold on, we're gonna take
idea
this call
came
from Charles.
biblical context.
Let's get a guy in here. Hold on, let's see if we got him. Hey.
Press 1 to send a voicemail.
We here. Let's go. We don't gonna send you the voicemail. Check it out. Is this Charles? Charles?
Hello.
Charles, you here? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Charles, let's give a shout out to Charles. Hey, our second call on the SKEAM Podcast. Charles, real quick, you got about
30 seconds.
40. You got 60 seconds.
60
Talk about
seconds.
it. Talk about it, man. Welcome.
Well, I'm going to say this. It's impossible for a feminist to be in a relationship.
Wait. I want to make sure we heard you right. You said it's impossible for a feminist to be in a relationship?
A feminist to be in a relationship and not think that she can be led.
Uh-huh.
Because her feminist already feel that she's an alpha female.
Talk
so
about
she's coming into that relationship.
Alpha
She's
female.
already coming in with an alpha
There
female.
are alpha females.
Dominant spirit. She's not coming in to be led. She's coming in to lead.
Right.
It's not going to work.
Thank you, Charles.
I didn't
Thank
know.
you, Charles.
She
He said,
asked you,
Charles, stay with me. I gotta get you off because we gotta pay our bills and get off real quick. But he was saying that an alpha female, a feminist who was gonna come in her alpha female energy is gonna come in with the intent to lead, and that is not gonna be proper, right, Charles?
Be an alpha
herself.
female.
Hold real quick. Wait. Let's go to Charles.
Not
Wait,
to leave
hold on.
Who do more
Charles,
push-ups?
Stop. Charles, did I basically summarize what you were saying, brother? Charles, you there? Oh, we lost him. Basically, he was saying.
Thank you,
the
Charles,
thank you,
for
Charles, for
calling.
calling in.
And thank you for your
a
feedback.
feminist, and that was my point. A feminist who's going to come in with that alpha dominant energy, and that's why.
Y'all are
they have
pigeonholing
both.
all
No.
feminists as if people who just
We talking about a
refuse to deal
relationship.
with. That's what
It's
we're
gonna be
talking
this.
about. No, it's not, because you can be strong and still be capable of working with another person.
And
Check
like
this
I said
out.
before, men and women
5
both
seconds.
have masculine and feminine energy.
5 seconds. PLJ.
And if she came in with an alpha,
We over. 5 seconds. Go ahead.
Hey, I mean, let's just
We
make it
need
work.
2 hours on this.
Make it work, not make it twerk.
Hey, listen. I'm gonna tell y'all this. We're gonna have a part 2 to this discussion because it's getting real. 202-417-7399 next week. This is Phone Line Fridays. We're gonna open up earlier for y'all. Y'all listen to the SKEAM Podcast. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We're gonna check y'all next week. Peace.